Perhaps and Ian Simpson, Mike Edwards, Phil Borley, Jim Moody, Ian Simpson, Ian McPherson, the front row of the grid. They're all getting a bit edgy. Well, that was a bit of a ragged start. The charge is on down the straight. Oh dear, somebody in big trouble at the back of the pack. Who was that, Keith?
Well, that looked to me like Mike Edwards. I was having a look there at the number 32. Was that Mike Edwards? Well, he was in big trouble there. Well, a raggedy start, and that really should be a restart. Very poor start indeed there.
Well, somebody thought it was not a bad start at all is number 3, Phil Borley. The lad from Southend broke his arm in a big crash in one of the European Championship rounds at the start of the season, but back fully fit and in fine form. So Borley leads. Then behind it's Jim Moody, the Scotsman. Number 1, that's Ian Simpson. Number 29, Dave Redgate. Well, that's old Dave, 32 years of age. He's old Dave Redgate, one of your compatriots, Mr. Ewan.
Steady there, Mr. Carter. My favourite rider in this race, though, is Jim Moody. Jim Moody, the Scotsman. Doesn't matter if you bend an arm behind his back, the man is still going for it racing-wise. I've seen him race so injured, and he looked very, very good here today.
Well, Moody, oh, and Fowler, somebody going down real hard, and that is your man.
Well,
Moody goes out. That was the curse of the commentator. Ewan has just put poor old Jim Moody out of the race. Let's hope he's okay. Oh, Dave Redgate almost goes out. Well, it's obviously some slippery spots all around this Snetterton circuit, and that has allowed Phil Borley just to clear off into the distance. That was Redgate who'd gone up into second place with the departure of Jim Moody. Here we go again. Oh, he's on his ear a long time before the corner, Keith.
Yeah, as he tipped it in there, maybe he lost the front end. We didn't pick it up quite early enough, and I can't see it. But Jim Moody doesn't make it to the barrier, so this will be one occasion he doesn't get injured from a crash. Oh, and there is Mike Edwards. He doesn't look a happy chappy, does he?
No, I think he wants to talk to somebody. Well, there's Jim Parker, the clerk of the course, one of the ACU officials, and I think we can tell what he's trying to say there, Keith.
Yeah, I think Jim's got his headphones switched off, though. It doesn't look as if he wants to hear this.
Well, Mike Edwards having a long, hard conversation with Jim Parker. It didn't look a good start. I would agree with you there, Keith. But the race is carrying on. Phil Borley out in front, destroying the opposition. Ian Simpson up into second place. Dave Redgate is third. And number 7, Sean Emmett, coming up very quickly indeed. Simpson there on the Francis Neal Honda. 22 years of age. His father, Bill Simpson, was a very talented rider before even your Dave. So the charge on behind to try to reel in Borley, and some trouble elsewhere on the circuit. And that is Ian McPherson unloading in a big way. A lot of fuel coming out of that petrol tank, Keith. On his feet quickly, but somebody's clipped the bike, and that could put the other rider in trouble. Oh dear, that's Mark Hill, and well, he was the innocent victim of that crash, and the bike is lying in a very dangerous spot.
Well, there were people both sides of that bike up on the grass, but look at this now.
Sean Emmett up into third place. Now, Sean Emmett is one of the guys that Simon Buckmaster wanted to ride in the 500 race at the British Grand Prix. He's that good.
Yeah, Sean Emmett has tested on all sorts of motorcycles, including 500 Grand Prix bikes, and proved himself very good on all of them. It's only a matter of time before this guy is right up there with the best of them.
So Sean Emmett, a road racer turned journalist, and normally it's the other way round, in third spot, but Dole drives through beautifully on the inside, just takes the racing line away from Ian Simpson. So the young British boy takes the second place away from the young Scotsman, and Emmett on the Shell Team Harris Yamaha, the Camberley rider, up into second place, and Simpson right behind him. And this is how the overtaking manoeuvre happened, Keith.
Yeah, Sean Emmett got lots of drive out of the S's, and really Simpson was either very slack on the throttle on the way out of there, but Emmett gave him no chance whatsoever and just drove straight under him. Emmett then in front.
And it would have been interesting to see Emmett on the 500 Harris at the British Grand Prix, but not to be. Maybe next year could be his time. But here comes Simpson back, levels with Emmett, not just levels, but goes ahead. Passed on the inside. Now, they don't do that very often, do they?
Well, he certainly seemed to find some extra power from somewhere down the Revitt Straight. Emmett will be looking to try and make sure he blocks him off on the last lap of this race as Emmett goes for the drive again and to the bomb hole, but Simpson has it covered this time, but only just. So, Simpson back up into second place. Out in front, Phil Borley, the South End on Seaboy.
riding the Julian Soper Motorcycles Honda. So local boy makes good at the moment, but there's the battle. It really is fierce, and Emmett's on the inside line, and he's got the measure there of Simpson.
All the way through Coram, Emmett had it hard on the power, and he just blasted Simpson on the brakes into Russell's S's, and that was a great manoeuvre. But again, look, the drive that the Scotsman's got, and that 600 of the Scotsman is absolutely flying.
1 lap to go. They're starting their final circuit. Just 1 lap to sort out this particular little argy-bargy. Borley leads. Simpson is in second place. Sean Emmett has come from nowhere to take third spot. And Derbyshire lad Steve Tomes is back there in fourth place. Good old Steve. Now look at this Borley. He's come back marvellously from that bad accident. His forearm was quite badly smashed early on at the start of the season, Keith.
Well, he's going to be very happy to be this far in front, because the melee for second place at the moment is going to be hot on this last lap. Who's it going to be, Simpson or Emmett? That's the question for second place. And at the moment it's Simpson, Chris.
But Emmett is good. He's got a plan of campaign up his sleeve, I'm sure he has. But Simpson closed the door. There was no room for him to go. Can he go round the outside? Well, back to Borley. And Borley in the final stages, just a few hundred yards to the checkered flag, and already is starting to wheelie. So the Southend-on-Sea boys celebrates in style, punches the air, acknowledges the pit signals. Who's it going to be? And Emmett's got it back in front, barging there. They actually made contact then, Keith.
Round the outside at Coram and into Russell. What a brave move from Emmett, the youngster, and he's going to beat the Scotsman to the line. Well, a great race indeed. Can the Scotsman, though, drive up? We've seen his bike quite fast. It looks like he's driving up to the rear end of Emmett. Is he going to make it?
Well, it's close to the line, and it's Simpson. Simpson did it then. So magnificent performance from Ian Simpson, snatching second place away from Sean Emmett. Well, what a controversial race, and Mike Edwards, I'm sure, not a happy man. That start, to say the least, was ragged.
Mike, that race ended a bit quickly for you. What happened?
Well, on the start line, Jim Parker, the clerk of the course, walked off with the red flag, which tells the starter to go onto the red, which he did do. Everyone started creeping, and everyone went well over the line, including the second row alongside me, and I was on the front row. I started then to pull my bike back a little bit, and quite a few other people did, and then the guy went to green. It was just a false start, you know.
So you complained about that. Is there anything you can do about it?
I really don't know. We're going to put an official protest in.
The red lights went on as the man with the red flag walked off the grid, and people started edging forward. And then the guy who was doing the lights put his hand up, so everyone stopped. And then as people were starting to move back, the green lights went, so everyone just went in. It was ragged. I mean, you'd have to look on the camera to see whether it was false. I mean, it's hard to say. I wasn't the first away, but I was first into the first corner, so and just got away from there.
Ian, that was some battle. Tell us a little bit about the contest you had here with Sean.
It was a good race with Sean. My Honda was a fair bit quicker than his Yamaha, so I had the edge and I went up the straights, but it was a good race.
But the battle that you had with him, it looked as if you got him a couple of times, but not right at that last vital moment.
Yeah, well, the only place, I mean, if I stayed in the slipstream, I could keep with him, but if I went in front, he just would blast past me, so it's best to just save it for the last lap and into the chicane, try and get underneath him, and then hopefully hold him to the line, but it didn't work. It's just have to get some more horsepower, I think.
In the end, Mike Edwards' protest was turned down, so the result stood. Phil Borley's first win after early season injury, with Ian Simpson's second place keeping him in a strong position overall, with Sean Emmett moving up 1 place.